Welcome back to some of the best stories from r/TalesFromTechSupport. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's take a look at the first story. It's called New iPhone. I work at an IT center where we have over 10,000 users. We order IT equipment and do IT support over the phone, remotely and face to face. A colleague of mine just got this call from a user. Help desk. This is the tech. Hello, I just got a new iPhone, but I've never heard of this model. Okay, what does it say on the box? It says Cisco iPhone. How big is the box? Well, it's a lot bigger than most phones that I've seen. Do you mean a Cisco IP phone? Yes, that's it. Oh, then there was a long silence. Finally, the tech said, yeah, that's not an iPhone, it's an IP phone. It's the kind of phone that sits on your desk, not a mobile phone. An iPhone and an IP phone are not the same? That's right. Okay, thanks. Apparently, Cisco makes iPhones now. The next story is called Server Room Temperature. The company I work for has two sites with in-house data centers. One site has the data center in the back of the IT office, with a big glass wall with the server racks visible, which lets a bit of noise through. But when rebooting something, you can hear that as the fans start spinning 100%. I was working from the other side and saw a temperature sensor going up in our monitoring tool. Sometimes it just spikes a bit, nothing to worry about. I decided to ignore it for a bit. I checked the sensor again. It went from 26 degrees to 45. That can't be good, right? I asked in our IT Teams channel who was present at the site and got a response. I called the colleague immediately. I heard the servers whining on in the background. I asked him to check the air conditioning units. Indeed, 45 degrees. Got a response back. I was wondering why it was so hot in the office. Clearly did not notice the servers whining. I called my IT manager to ask who the facilities employee on the specific site was. I called that person and got the response that, yeah, don't worry, there's air conditioning maintenance on the roof, but they are on lunch break right now. They left the roof units off while on lunch break. The third story is called For Over a Year. We got a ticket that said the employee wasn't receiving emails sent to a certain group, so we made some quick troubleshooting, checking to make sure there were no issues with the group email getting through, making sure she was on the group, checking her junk folder settings to make sure she didn't mark it junk, checking to see if she had set up a rule to sort emails from group. We found the problem quickly. It was a rule she had set up. We showed her the folder the emails were going to, so she could find any she missed. Turned off the rule and showed her how to turn it back on if she ever wanted to sort them again. Noted the ticket and moved on. Being the curious type, I looked through our system and I found a ticket from 2 years ago where she actually asked us for the rule. I knew she couldn't have done it herself, so I knew we had a ticket. In the ticket, she was complaining about being spammed by those emails. The person who worked with her left detailed instructions on where the email was going, how to find the rule, how to turn it off, and made it clear before closing the ticket that should she want the emails not sorted, she needed to turn it off. And while the rule was on, she would not see the emails in her regular inbox. I just kind of put that little bit of information away. I didn't make a deal out of her asking for the rule to be set up. About 3 days later, I am in a meeting and her boss had a list of items he wanted to talk about. One of them was her email issue. That was fixed, I told him. She said it took a while, he answered. I pulled up the ticket and showed him that from the time the ticket was opened until it was closed with a satisfactory conclusion was only 15 minutes. She told me that she's had this problem for over a year, he said. I don't know what to tell you, I said. She only opened this ticket on this date and it was fixed 15 minutes later. Shouldn't you know if she is having issues? What do you mean? She hasn't been receiving these emails for a while. Shouldn't you know that? I'm still not following. We knew when she told us. We don't have the ability to know when the employees here are expecting emails, unless they tell us. It seems like that is something IT should know. Email is very important. If it isn't working, alarm should be sounding. Email was working correctly. I pointed out again that all we did was turn off a rule that she asked to be made in the first place. Maybe she just didn't understand what you guys were doing with the rule. I again pointed out that, on the original ticket, the tech took her time to spell out the entire solution, and even explained what was happening with the email. After the meeting, I got kind of curious why he was so persistent that we messed up. It turns out that she got promoted a year ago. Part of her job was supposed to be taking care of those emails. Before it was a group thing, where it kind of passed out. But her promotion made her in charge of the entire program, and she kept telling all the other people she was working with that she wasn't getting them. Other people were taking care of them for her. I guess she was embarrassed that she was skimping on that part of her job and was blaming IT. And no, she didn't get punished at all. The next story is called Password Reset. I work for a company that builds and supports web apps for various clients. Recently, we had a support ticket come in from one of these clients, saying that some of the users they'd added to the app recently were having trouble logging in. Every time they tried to log in, they would receive an invalid password error. They would reset their password, and this would let them access the app again. But the next time they tried to log in, they got the same error and had to reset their password again. Could I please fix this? Of course, my first instinct was that this was a user error, but I had to check to be sure. So I tried resetting my password in the test environment. No problems. I tried resetting my password on a test account in the production environment. No problems. I even got permission from one of the users involved to try resetting their password myself and then logging into their account in case it was somehow an account specific issue. Again, no problems. So I respond to the client and tell them that there are no issues with the password reset process. I advise the client to make sure that the users are performing the password reset properly. In particular, I tell them to make sure that the users are entering the same password on the login page as they entered on the password reset page. The client comes back and says the users are still having the same problem. Can I please fix this? Okay, fine. I organize a call between myself, client, and some of the affected users, so they can screen share and show me how they are trying to reset their password. We get on the call, and one of the users shows me what they are doing. They try to log into the app in Chrome and get an invalid password error. They click the Forgot Password button, and a password reset email arrives in Outlook. They click the Reset My Password link in the email, and it opens the Reset Password page in Edge. They update their password, and the app logs them in. Edge dutifully offers to save their password, which they accept. They then close Edge and go back to Chrome. They open the login page of the app, and Chrome dutifully autofills their old password. They click Login and get Invalid Password. I explain to them that Edge and Chrome are different browsers, and that a password saved by one won't be remembered by the other. I teach them how to copy the reset password link into Chrome instead. Right click the link. No, not left click, right click. Now click copy link. No, not open link in new window. Copy link. The client and users are very grateful to me for solving their problem, and the client assures me that if the same issues ever happens again, they'll be able to recognize it now. I don't even blame the users for this one. I blame Microsoft for pushing Edge so hard. The last story is called Tool to Fire Me. In my old company, data was processed by a team of 8. Each type of data had a different process and a different length of time to complete. Each member of the team also did each of these tasks at different speeds, due to age or level of awakeness. Big Boss insisted on daily reports from the team leader about how many tasks were completed each day, etc. And my team leader spent an hour and a half every single morning pulling data and compiling the report. Instead of doing any team leading, I foolishly pipe up and commit the cardinal sin of volunteering my help. After a bit of explanation, I put together a group accessible Excel document where each team leader could input the tasks completed each day on one page, and the boss could hit the magical button that caused the macros to do their thing. An hour and a half every day became 5 minutes. Team leader was very happy. In order to do the workings out, I had to use an average length of time for each type of task, which very literally meant getting 8 people to spend a day measuring how long it took them to do each thing. I very specifically stated to the team leader that because the output was based on averages, it could only be used as an indicator of progress, not as a formal report by any stretch. The fastest person was way faster than the others by some quirk of genetics, so badly skewed what a normal amount of work should look like. Then came the layoffs. Guess whose tool was used to show whom of the 8 was working the slowest, because I spent half my time making useful time-saving tools instead of proper work. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.